Hey everyone, it's Christian from the Calcio Bros, and we just finished round 20 of Serie A. So that means we just hit the first game of the midway part of the season. We're just over halfway through now. Can't believe we're almost there. And there were a lot of results that a lot of teams needed to get, and they got the job done. And we'll get right into that as well and talk about some transfers that have been going on and how it can affect some of the teams going forward and especially finishing off strong in the rest of the season. Starting off on Saturday, January 18th, 9 a.m., Lazio Sampdoria. Game finishes 5-1. Just an absolute show here from Lazio. Immobile scores another hat-trick here, but you won't hear many people talk about it because it's Immobile and he's not the best player in Serie A, but he's having a season to remember now. He has 23 goals in all competitions. Lazio, with this win, are now on an 11 consecutive game winning streak in Serie A, and if they continue up, they can really catch Juve and Inter, and they are also still a game back, so if they do end up winning that game in hand, they can even pass Inter and then will only be 3 points behind Juve. And they right now do have the first leg advantage over Juventus until their next meeting. But credit to where credit is due for Simone Inzaghi's side. Now that they're eliminated from all the cup competitions, Europa League and Coppa Italia, their sole focus will be the Serie A. And I'm not sure if they have the depth and quality to challenge. They could definitely challenge, but I don't think they'll be able to secure themselves first. But they're going to fight to get into the Champions League spot, and I really don't think they'll really crash and burn. They may stagger a bit, but the way they're going, Inzaghi has done an excellent job getting the best out of his side with the players he has. It's incredible for what he has achieved with them. Later on in that day, 12 o'clock, Sassuolo making the comeback against Torino. That's a big win for Sassuolo, considering that moves them a little bit farther away from the relegation zone and those teams battling it out over there. 2:45, Napoli, Fiorentina, and Napoli continue their abysmal run in Serie A. They have not won at home since October. They lose 2-0 here to Fiorentina. Gattuso has a lot of work to do. But it's not really Gattuso's fault for Napoli's poor form, and there's not much he can do to turn it around. It started off with Ancelotti, and Ancelotti's not a manager who ruins teams. He helps build and try to get the best out of his players. He knows how to win, but he never really causes problems. This is up from the players as well as the management of Aurelio De Laurentiis. He is probably the first person that needs to leave if this Napoli chaos wants to be resolved. I'm not sure if he will leave, because I know he really wants to see success with Napoli, but he's causing more trouble than they can afford, considering that it's costing them their season and they're not even sitting inside the top 10. They're still quite a distance away from a Champions League spot, so they got to really turn themselves around if they want to get themselves up there. Going on to Sunday, early 6:30 game, Milan Udinese scoring early after a huge Donnarumma error, but Milan right away in the second half stepped up their game. Rebic, out of everyone, he scores his first goal for the Rossoneri equalize. Hernandez as well scoring once again. He scored his 6th goal in all competitions, his 5th in Serie A. He is right now Milan's leading scorer, and he's also the first defender since Christian Panucci to score 5 goals in a Serie A season for Milan. Udinese did tie it up, but Milan, again with Rebic, who scores his 2nd of the game, wins it late for Milan. This is a huge result that just puts them in touching distance of the Europa League, but it's in Europe in general. Maybe this is the win that Milan needed in order to help rebound their season. They did bring in experience. They brought in Ibra. They brought in Simon Kjaer. They brought in Asmir Begovic, even though Begovic, again, is almost around the same age as Reina. But they just added that experience, even at the back with Kjaer, to help give some leadership. And he's well experienced as well with Sevilla, Roma. Palermo, like he has experience in Serie A, and especially with Ibra up top and that winning mentality, that'll definitely help them as well. And Pioli, again, he may not be the best tactician, but he helps to restabilize certain teams. So maybe this is what Milan need, and let's see if they can keep going in a positive direction. Especially, they are going to have some tough fixtures coming up after, after Brescia and Verona. They are going to have the derby soon as well. So that's one game that could help see how their progress is with some of the players they have and those that they have brought in. 9 a.m. games, we had 3 of them. We had Lecce Inter finishing 1-1, Brescia Cagliari 2-2, and Bologna Verona 1-1. So Lecce gets a crucial result at home against Inter. Again, they are not able to win at home, and they're the only team not to get a single victory at home, which is weird because, again, you don't see teams not win a single game at home. You just don't see that at all. Like, it's unheard of. I don't know what they can do. They just can't. They just can't. I don't know. But they have gotten crucial draws at home against Inter and Juve. So that does help, but they need a win. They really do. And this also is not the best result for Inter because now they lose traction against Juve. If they want to help to fight and to go for the Scudetto, they can't be losing games to Lecce. I know teams do stumble once in a while against some of these smaller teams, but especially every time it's Inter win, Juve win, Juve win, Inter win. Like, they can't afford these slip-ups, considering we're now going to be entering the later stages of the season. So they need the depth and the quality to capitalize in games like this. And Inter, with some injuries, they may not have it, of course, but they really need to work it up. And that's probably why Juve has always been on top, because they've capitalized on other teams' mistakes, and they have also had the depth and quality on the bench that they can bring on in order to make a difference in the game when they need to. And that's happened several times this season. And Inter probably don't have that. It could be their year, depending who else they bring in. I know they did bring in Ashley Young, but at the same time, is that the best? I know they're also bringing in Victor Moses. After that failed Spinazzola-Politano swap, I don't know if those are the best moves. But maybe Conte, as we know, can get the best out of these types of players. We'll see we'll see how they do once they do come into the team and what he can get out of them. The Brescia Cagliari game, Cagliari score after going 3 games. Firing blanks, so that is important for them as they manage to, at least 2 games firing blanks, but still they managed to get themselves going, get a crucial point here after losing 4 games in their last 5. But they could have had it here. Joao Pedro with 2 goals, and then Torregrossa with 2 goals for Brescia. But once again, Balotelli getting sent off for saying, "Go F yourself" to the referee. It's typical Balo fashion. What else are you going to do? His punishment now is being suspended 2 games, being fined 10,000. What is that to most players anyways? But you would think Balotelli's out of his usual routine. Doesn't happen. He will once again miss the Milan game, but last time it wasn't his fault because he never knew he was coming to Italy, as he was suspended from his time at Nice. While this time he does miss Milan, maybe he did it on purpose, but at the same time, can't be saying "go after yourself" to the referee. What are you going to do? But Brescia do pick up a point here, but it's not like it makes much of a difference considering they are still in the relegation zone. They really need to also pick themselves up, and it's not like they can lose Balotelli in these games because it's not like he doesn't have talent. Like, he has it there, but is he able to make the difference? I know there's a lot of work to do with Brescia, but what are you going to do? The last game, again, like I said, Bologna finishing 1-1. Verona keeps going. They pick up points in their last 4 games now. Bologna too get their second draw in their last 5. And Borini scoring on his debut, helping to get the game level for Verona. I guess both teams can settle for the points anyways. 12 p.m. game, Genoa-Roma. Genoa lose at home here, 3-1 to Roma. The Giallorossi picking up their first win of 2020, getting it after going 2 games, losing at home to Torino and Juve. So that is big for them because they can get their season back up and going. They're sitting 4th right now, so they're in a good spot. But Genoa, they were gonna probably hope for a draw, but it's hard against going against someone like Roma's caliber, and it's gonna always be tough. They're gonna be into a long season ahead of them. It's considering they almost got relegated last year. Maybe this is the time they're gonna go back down. I know Perin played, but who knows if Radu should have played. It's tough to say, really. It's just the whole team's not there this year, and they have a lot of work, and it's not like Davide Nicola can do much with them. He's trying to bring in players to help, but it's still not going to be enough. They do have Destro and experienced Berami. Again, like I said, they brought in Perin, but I don't know if it's enough to keep Genoa up there. They're sitting dead last right now in Serie A. They just really need a miracle if they hope to stay up in Serie A. We have the last game on the Sunday was Juventus-Parma. Juve take the win here 2-1 against Parma, who did play really well and managed to put up a fight against Juve. I know they did miss Trevino, who did cause trouble against them last time at the Allianz Stadium. But Ronaldo, the hero here, as he scores a brace and scores his 11th goal in 7 consecutive games. Ever since being subbed against Milan, he's been on a scoring run. There's not much you can change. We're seeing, actually the only thing you can change is his ugly hairstyle, but it's not like he listens to any of us. Maybe it's the thing that's helping him, that and his iPod shuffle. Anyways, he's going back to the player we all know as the world-class player. I know he struggled a bit last year in Serie A, getting into the new league, new system, new playing style, how Italy is compared to Spain and England. But it seems like he's firing on all cylinders now and really making a difference here for Juventus, continuing their run for another Scudetto. On the Monday, 2:45, we had a shock result here as Atalanta lose at home to Spal. They were up 1-0 at the half thanks to an Josip Ilicic goal, his 10th of the season. This guy is on fire, continues for another season. I believe it is his 3rd season with double digits of goals. He is world class, and Atalanta got an absolute steal when they bought him from Fiorentina. But Spal managing to get the comeback here with Petagna, who continued his fine scoring run against his former side. And then Velotti with a great solo effort to deny Atalanta a point here. He got the game winner in the second half, and that's huge for them as they leapfrog from the bottom of the table, sitting 1 point behind Lecce. Yes, they still are in the relegation zone, but they managed to move up and get that important win against a strong Atalanta side who, they beat almost everyone. They caused trouble to a lot of opponents, but Spal just came out to play in the second half, and it's almost like Atalanta completely shut down, and you don't see that from them. They're one of the most entertaining sides. They're the highest scoring team as well, so it's just a shock to see them play like that. So that's all the matches that we had for round 20. Let us know if you had any thoughts about this weekend. What were your surprises that we saw? This is, well, so again, some shock results as we saw, we could have expected the Fiorentina win considering Napoli's bad form, but then again, the Fiorentina are really shaky as well. Milan managed coming back. Parma almost getting that draw here, and then again Spal getting that huge win against Atalanta. Let us know what you guys think. talking a bit about the standings now. Like I said, bottom three are Genoa, Brescia, and Spal, with Lecce sitting right above, 1 point out, and Sampdoria are just 4 points out. Sampdoria haven't had the best seasons, but with Ranieri, they have looked a little bit better. But will he be able to do enough for them to stay up? It's tough to see, depending on how active they can be in this transfer market to keep themselves from continuously dropping points. I know they were in 10 men against Lazio, but still, it was 3-0 by halftime. There is a lot of work to be done. Lecce, if they want to stay up as well, they need to start getting victories at home. They can't not win. Like, I've never seen someone gone almost half the season without winning at home. Like, there's always been at least one team, or there's always been a team that at least has one win at home. So I don't really know what to say, but it's not like we can play FIFA and control them to get the game. It doesn't happen like that, but we can just watch and see what they do, right? All three of their victories coming away, and they have a total of 5 draws at home. They are getting points. It's not like they've lost every game at home, but they just need the wins. That's 3 points compared to the 1. That's what they need to stay up. I don't think Genoa will do, like, these teams. It is still really close, and if Lecce do not start to get the home victories, they will definitely drop off. Considering Spal and Brescia are right behind them, Genoa is only there by 2 points. It's up for grabs, and again with Sampdoria, we'll see. I feel they still have a bit of too much quality to maybe get relegated, but it's really hard to say. Still a lot of games left to play, that's for sure. And again, it depends how these teams reinforce themselves this transfer market. Like I was even saying before, Napoli are outside the top 10. They're sitting outside by 2 points behind Hellas Verona, and that's not something the Napoli, they like where they want to be, and where Napoli fans expected them to be too at the beginning of the season. They really need to turn themselves around. Any hope of getting up there and back into the Champions League. I know they are still in the Champions League right now. Going to be tough to go all the way. It's not like they can get demoted to Europa League and try to vie for that competition by winning it, because as soon as they lose in the Champions League, they're out. So they really have to bounce back. They have 4 losses in their last 5 games. So they're really going to have to step up if they hope to get anything in the last few games. Milan managed again to push themselves up. They're sitting 8th right now, tied with Parma on points, 2 points behind Cagliari, who are 6th, still in that European zone. Maybe we'll still start to see Cagliari slide a bit after they are winless in their last 5. Milan, again, are in the right path. If they keep going, if they can get crucial wins against Brescia and Verona coming up, it'll be a huge, huge confidence booster if they hope to make Champions League, considering the poor start they had to this season. And like I go with Cagliari, we could see them slide a bit too. Again, it was good to see them up there, but I don't think they had the quality to stay up there. A lot of the bigger teams will tend to refine their form later on in the season and reinforce themselves with stronger players in order for them to stay up. So we'll see how Cagliari manages to hang on, and Milan, if they can continuously continue to get victories. Atalanta sitting 5th. They maintain their spot there and are sitting 3 points behind Roma after their latest defeat. Roma, who managed to get the win, moved up into the Champions League spot. Lazio sitting 3rd with 45, Inter with 47, and Juve with 51. And like I said too, Lazio have that one game in hand. If they do win against Verona, they move 1 point ahead of Inter and 3 points behind Juve. So they are really close. They may push for a challenge against the other two. No one expected them to do this well. Inzaghi really has a test ahead of him to see how far he can push his Lazio team. I feel he will challenge. Like, he'll give the other teams a run for their money, but I'm not sure if it is enough for them to to win it. Like, I just don't see them, but anything can happen. We've seen weirder situations, I guess, right? So those are the bit of the standings. I know I didn't break down about every team, just some key points here and there. What do you think? You guys think Lazio are going to be able to really push for the Scudetto and maybe be a true contender for it, or will they just be a challenger and at the end not being able to win it? Do you think Cagliari can maybe maintain their run and finish in a European spot? Can Milan push themselves into top four, or Europa League going to be it for them? Let me know what you guys think after start the discussion about the standings here. So now going quickly into the next round, and we'll talk about some players that have been coming in, coming out. So on the 24th, that's the Friday this time, we have Brescia Milan at 2:45. That's Friday, as Milan do have their Coppa Italia match next week against Torino. That will be a big match for Milan, as they need to get another 3 points there. And Brescia missing Mario Balotelli, one of their prolific strikers. They can probably cope without him, but Milan will definitely want to take advantage of a less of a striker up front. On the 25th, 9 a.m., Spal Bologna. Let's see if Spal can bring their confidence against Bologna. Bologna, who have looked good with Sinisa Mihailovic. Let's see what they can do. 12 p.m., Fiorentina, Genoa. Fiorentina want to carry their momentum from beating Napoli against Genoa, who have looked poor as well. Genoa hopefully just try to get something out of this game, but I don't think they have enough for it. Last game on the Saturday, Torino-Atalanta. Both teams want to rebound after disappointing defeats last game, after both teams had comebacks happen against them. So we'll see who comes out on top here. On the 26th, we have Inter Cagliari at 6:30 in the morning. Last time it was a very tight affair between these two. Are we going to see another repeat as well? Can Cagliari break out of their misfortune right now? Again, they have no wins in their last 5 games. Can we see a turnaround for them? And Inter, who have lost some traction against Juve, if they manage to win this, they go 1 point behind them, depending how Juve does in their game against Napoli. They need this win in order to keep ground on the Bianconeri. 9 a.m., 3 games once again. Parma Udinese, Sampdoria Sassuolo, and Verona Lecce. Parma won a win against Udinese. Both of these teams lost last round, so they of course want to rebound and get some points out of this match. Sampdoria Sassuolo, only 3 points separating these two sides. If Sampdoria wins, they can move a little bit farther away from that relegation zone, so that would be crucial for them. If Sassuolo can push up, they can really push up to 11 spots, so that can really boost themselves up the table depending on how the other results go. So they will really be looking to get a victory here. Verona Lecce. Verona will look to continue their good form this season, and they can even move up as far as 7th if all results go in their favor. They are having a great season so far, and they look to keep it going through the rest of the year as well. Lecce want to pick up opponent away victory or some type of point. They have done much better on the road, so keep an eye. Maybe they can shock a few and get another crucial point and move themselves away from the relegation zone. 12 p.m. we have the Derby della Capitale, Roma versus Lazio. If Lazio win, they go on their 12-game winning streak, and I don't think they want to lose that to their bitter city rivals, Roma. The Giallorossi will look to end their rivals' winning streak and keep up their form, and if they want to move up, just 4 points behind them as well, and move away from Atalanta depending on how their game goes as well. So that's going to be a great game to watch for sure. And then the last game too at 2:45 we have Napoli Udinese. Napoli will be looking to hopefully turn their season around at home at the San Paolo against Juve. They did recently win at the San Paolo in the Coppa Italia against Lazio. So hopefully they can carry that confidence and momentum against the Bianconeri and look to push themselves up in the table, while Juve want to keep going on their roll, steer clear of Inter, and continue their dominance in the league. Let's see if even Ronaldo can go 12 games of scoring goals. Who knows? That's going to be another tough test for both teams. One of the bigger tests for Gattuso. Let's see how he'll be able to cope with Ronaldo and Dybala, Higuain, and especially against Sarri, who is starting to get more and more out of his Juve players. So that's round 21, guys. Let me know what game you guys are most looking forward to. What do you guys expect out of this weekend? Can we see Lazio continue their good run of form? Are we going to see Napoli turn around their season? Still lots to play for. Lots of excitement in this round. Let me know what you guys think. So quickly to touch on some transfers, Ashley Young signing for Inter. I believe it's a 5-month contract or 5-6-month contract with an option of another. They hope to add some depth, and they're working on Victor Moses right now. They're also trying to finish the deal for Eriksson. He really wants to leave Tottenham, and I know it's harder for a lot of players or a lot of teams actually to let go of some of their top players in this transfer market, because it is harder to replace them as other teams don't want to let go of their players. So it's just a cycle of not wanting to get rid of their players and all that sort of stuff. But I know he was going to sign with Inter for the next season, but he does want to leave. So he really wants to leave Tottenham for a new challenge, and maybe he can probably wants to win trophies, really. So if he can go to Inter and challenge for the Scudetto, who knows? That would be incredible if they can get him as well. Him behind Martinez and Lukaku, that would be incredible. And I know if they want to add Giroud for some extra depth up front, that would be good. He does have the experience. He does have winners trophies behind him in his background, Giroud. So that would be a good signing for them. Riccardo Saponara, ex-Viola and Milan, going to Lecce. He only on the loan, so hopefully he can help change their fortunes a bit, add some more creativity, and seeing if he can help change their fortunes as well. We had Musa Barrow signing for Bologna, as well as Vignato from Chievo, but he is sent back on Chievo for the rest of the season. So Barrow, very young player from Atalanta, definitely talented. Maybe he can help shake up Bologna's attack and give Mihailovic another option up front. Still only a couple weeks left in the transfer market, so there's still lots of deals to happen. Maybe a lot of Bosmans as well for next season. So be sure to keep an eye. We are always tweeting as much as we can about the latest deals and whatnot. So if there's any deals you're particularly looking forward to, let us know. Let us know your thoughts on how some of these deals can affect your team, or who do you want to join your team? Who should your team go after? That's the question, really. There's still a lot to see, and what surprises some of these squads will pull in the last few days of the Calcio Mercato. So that's all, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this latest video here. Be sure to comment below. Let us know what you think. Don't forget to click the bell and subscribe to receive notifications on our latest videos. And follow us on Twitter, Calcio_Bros. We'll hear from you guys soon. Ciao.